We all know the EU flag with its 12 golden stars on a navy blue background. It stands for European unity like no other symbol and is one of the best-known flags in the world. But what if I told you that the EU flag almost looked like this? Or like this? There have been many exciting flag proposals throughout the history of European unity, some of which have actually been used in the meantime. Today, we take a look at some of the most exciting flags and find out how the current flag came to be and why, with 27 members, it only shows 12 stars. Have fun! One of the first predecessor organizations of the EU was the so-called Coal and Steel Community. It decided early on to use the stars that we know today, albeit on a blue and black background. However, the flag was always adapted according to the number of members, which is why it underwent considerable development. Then there was the Western European Union, which was more of a military organization and was founded by France, Great Britain, Belgium, the Netherlands, Luxembourg, and Luxembourg. The flag certainly looks very exciting, as it has virtually nothing to do with today's EU flag. It consisted of 5 squares of different colors, one on top of the other, with 5 intertwined rings in the middle. The 5 symbolizes the 5 founding members. The flag was later adapted and looked much more like a European organization. The flag as we know it today, however, actually comes from the organization of the Council of Europe, which was founded in 1949 and set out to find a suitable flag in the following year. There was a call for proposals in which 200 different suggestions were submitted, 10 of which were shortlisted. We take a look at some of these proposals below. The first proposal was the flag of the Pan-European Union. This was a political association based in Vienna that campaigned for European unification from as early as 1922 and is therefore considered the oldest precursor of the EU. It was persecuted under the Nazis and eventually dissolved. However, it was revived after the war. The flag looked like this, with the golden sun symbolizing enlightenment and the red cross standing for humanity. However, Turkey in particular, which still had a stronger prospect of accession at the time, fiercely resisted such a proposal with a cross in the flag. The next proposal came from Winston Churchill's son-in-law. This flag showed a greenie on a white background. It had already been used at several European economic conferences. The E stood for Europe, but was considered by many to be too emotional and symbolically weak, so that it was later mocked as Churchill's underpants. Later, the flag was used on cars to indicate that only citizens of the EEC were in the vehicle and that no goods subject to customs duties were being carried. And then some European politicians got together and submitted the following flag, which is deliberately strongly reminiscent of the Olympic rings. Like the Olympic flag, it was intended to commemorate the unification of the different countries. Critics, however, saw it as a string of zeros or mocked it as a telephone dial. And so this proposal was also rejected. The flag as we know it today is based on the following design. We can already see the blue background and a golden star. This flag was rejected due to its similarity to the flag of the Congo at the time, but most people probably liked the motif itself. So both the background and the star were retained. However, several stars were to be arranged in a circle. And the question of the number of stars ultimately led to a major dispute between the members. Originally, it was supposed to have 15 stars, but Germany rejected this because it would have symbolically recognized the Saarland, which had a special status at the time as a separate state. France, however, did not want to accept the 14 stars, nor did they want to accept 13, as it was considered an unlucky number. And so the decision was finally made to use the 12 stars as we know them today. Initially only used by the Council of Europe, it was introduced in the 1980s as the official symbol for all European institutions and thus also became the official EU flag. Nevertheless, many were dissatisfied with the 12 stars, as many later members felt underrepresented. This led to new proposals, especially in the early 2000s, when many members of the Eastern Bloc joined. Romano Prodi, the then president of the European Commission, commissioned an architectural firm to rebrand the EU flag. The result was the following design, which is strongly reminiscent of a barcode. However, the vertical stripes were to represent the colors of the flags of the member states. However, the proposal was heavily criticized, and it was noted that the flag once again placed too much emphasis on the nation-states, which was supposed to be overcome with European unification. And so the proposal was ultimately rejected, and the flag as we know it has remained in use to this day.